Hot take, and I'm not judging because I literally was in this situation like a few months ago. I cannot fathom paying $1,000 a month to live with 3 other people.
For the amount that I'm paying in rent, don't call it an apartment. It's a unit, condo, mansion. When you talk about my apartment, refer to it as mansion, 29th floor, Airbnb, luxury home. Because with rent this much, apartment doesn't do it. Up the professionalism, up the respect.
What's up, fitness hawks? It's your man Eric, and in today's video we're going to be going over some more rent price videos. Had a blast on the last one, so I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and go over some more of these. So let's get into it.
Budget is $2,800. That's my max as a single person looking for a 1-bedroom in Los Angeles East Side. To me that's a lot. Why are there $3,000 apartments for a 1-bed that's not even 700 square feet in Glendale, California? Who's paying for that? And what do you do for a living? I'm just gonna okay, being alive is so hard. Like, you think you're progressing. Like, I thought I was making the okay money for a single person. Not when you're looking for an apartment where you don't want bugs. Okay, maybe I'm gonna move to the valley. I didn't want to move to the valley because it would be far from work, but maybe I gotta move to the valley. 20.
Yeah, that's a lot. Dang near $3,000 for a 1-bedroom. Now, to be fair, again, I think she said she was in Cali or California, so I guess a lot of different areas over there. Especially the areas she was just talking about is a higher cost of living, but even still, $3,000 for just 1 bedroom. Man, I can just imagine how much it would cost a 2-bedroom, let alone 3 to rent. That is insane. Almost $3,000. If you're older and watching this, what type of, like back then, what type of place did you think you could get for $3,000 rent? What type of apartment could you imagine yourself getting for $3,000? If you can get like one bedroom for like $200-$300, how much do you think you would be able to rent for $3,000 back then? Do you think you would be able to get a penthouse or what? Definitely try to hear you guys' thoughts on that. But yeah, look, she probably is gonna have to move because I mean that is insane. That's insane. 3,000 for one bedroom. I'm pretty sure the studio probably what 2,500, 2,600. Don't put 2 bedrooms now. Don't put 2 bedrooms, man. It could be about 4,000, 5,000. So yeah, it's unless you get like a super high paying job, yeah, you are going to be probably either all your paycheck day nearly is going to be on rent. Hopefully you got no debt either, from going to school and whatnot and other stuff in life that you probably would have by the age of 32. But yeah, you're probably going to end up having to get like a roommate, or I guess like a significant other, so y'all can actually share the room, share the one room. Both of y'all pay $1,500 each month. Yeah, it's crazy. That is crazy. It's $3,000 for 1 bedroom. Come on now.
Yeah, when the Chicago rent gets so high, like, how are we normalizing $2,000 for a studio? Like, you're gonna sit there and tell me, yeah, when the Chicago rent gets so high, like, how are we normalizing $2,000 for a studio? Like, you're gonna sit there and tell me you'll live in the shoebox for the next 12 months and you give me $2,000, like, with a straight face too. $2,000, shoebox, all yours. Like, I need 2 jobs for that. Like, what are we doing here?
Man, yeah. So we're back on Chicago. On the last video, we were talking about Chicago as well, as being so freaking high. Like a lot of the other places, but a lot of the videos in particular, a lot of people were in Chicago. And there's another one, 2,000 for a studio. A 1-bedroom, not a 2-bedroom, not a 3-bedroom, but for a studio. Man, that is high. That is high. And if you just compare the amount, the national like minimum wage, how much that has increased from like 1990 to now, it's like night and day compared to how much everything has increased. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the national average, I mean, the minimum wage, like the federal minimum wage is like $7, I think still. I think the last time it went up was like in 2009 or something like that. So by that time, man, like things have tripled, quadrupled about a ton, even by COVID. Like after COVID, there should have been a higher minimum wage than just $7. But that's still the same. But everything else tripled, quadrupled, etc. Again, on the last video, we were literally going over how after COVID, they were paying X amount of money on their rent. Now that just skyrocketed, just zoomed up, and it's continuing to zoom up. The salaries and everything else is not going up like that. Everything else, all the expenses and everything else is going up, but not the salaries. The salaries are not increasing anywhere near the rate of costs. It is crazy right now. But yeah, rent is just one of the many things that has not increased. I mean, that has increased by a ton, by a crazy amount. And you're not getting more, you're getting less $2,000 for a studio. And they're like $2,000 for like a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. No, $2,000 for a studio. It's crazy.
Cheap rent without getting a roommate, there's only two options available. So for your first option, if you want a cheap apartment, is you have to move to far, far away land. You have to move to a small town where everybody goes to Walmart for fun. There's nothing to do and you'll be bored as hell, but your rent will be $35 a month. Your second option, if you want cheap rent, is your roommate is probably going to be rats and roaches. Your car is going to get broken into. You're probably going to get shot, but at least your city is a lot of fun and there's a lot of things to do in your city. And this is why I think renting is such a very unfair concept. I have a friend who's paying $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Miami, Florida. Then I have another friend who's paying $800 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a small town in South Carolina. Both apartments are pretty much the same size. The only difference is location. I think it should be illegal for rent to be over $2,000 a month. You could be paying $2,000 a month for your apartment, and your next door neighbor, same model, same everything, could be paying $1,800 for the same model apartment as you. Or they could be paying more than you. When you renew your lease, it could go up by $9 or $900. And then you're paying $2,000 a month, but you will never own your apartment. You will never own it. I feel like rent should be like a fixed amount across the board. A 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States should be like $800. A 2-bedroom apartment should be like $900. Life is unfair, but renting is 10 times unfairer.
Okay, that was a lot on that. And I'm not gonna like touch too much on just the insane prices of rent. Well, there's two things I wanted to go over on this one. The first thing, I don't agree that it should be across the board, just one type of payment or one type of bedroom. I feel like that can be a lot of ways that can get messed up just across the board, no matter where you're at. I feel like there's gonna be a whole lot of complications to that, but without that, or maybe like a range. Maybe there could be like a rubber band, like one bedroom had to be from here to here. Maybe something like that. I could actually see, but just being one set price regardless of like the location and all that. I'm just not seeing that. Now, the second thing I wanted to go over to is I see a cheat code with this. See a cheat code with this. Now, hear me out. Hear me out real quick. I think that the cheat code is this. Get yourself some type of like tech role or some type of role that you can do online at a job that you don't want to go in, some type of remote, job that is paying well, that you think you can see yourself working, several years there. And then moving out to those certain places and staying at that same job. And because you're so far away, you're paying less. Like, that's a cheat code, I guess. A lot of people going overseas and doing that. I think Simone Bies, he talks about that with the GovTech. And yeah, that's really the cheat code right there. That's really the cheat code. Get yourself a government job like that. Get one of these government contracts, go overseas. And if I'm not mistaken, you don't have to pay taxes, or like the taxes are a lot different. So not only are you working overseas and you got lower cost of living, but you're also paying less tax and or maybe zero tax. Now you're really banking. So go ahead and go to her video and go to her channel and be like, hey, Financial Hawk sent you. Yeah, but yeah, that's the cheat code right there. That's probably one of the cheat codes. And the GovTech side, that's lucrative. You make some bank with that. But if you not work on a GovTech, you should work on a regular remote job. If you're happy with that job and saying, at that job for a while, then, that's also a cheat code for you. It's not going to be a cheat code for you so much if you're planning on moving to another company, because then you may not be able to get a job that's going to be remote. And now, you're out of luck. Or maybe you're going to drive like super, super, super far, in the mornings and night. So good luck on having any type of other projects or any other type of work. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and play this last one real quick.
I feel like the only reason that y'all think a 1-bedroom for $1,400 is okay, yes, because y'all are from big cities and big states that a 1-bedroom is $2,200 to $3,000. Reason that y'all think that $1,400 rent is okay is because y'all got got. Y'all got got. Y'all got got by inflation. Y'all got got by the economy. Y'all got got by the government. Y'all succumbed to the peer pressure that they put on us, making us feel like that $1,400 is good. Like, you feel me? It's not 10 years ago no more, but 10 years ago is literally 2015, 16. That felt like yesterday. It was 2-bedroom apartments, 1,100 square feet for $900. 1,100 square feet for $900 to $1,000. And you think I'm gonna be happy because the world is to shit now and a one bedroom is 1400. Oh, let me take it. Let me take it. What? Man, if I can't find nothing for $900, I guess I'm gonna be living with my mama for the rest of my life. It is what it is.
Okay, yeah, another one with the COVID inflation. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you could find several places, one bedroom, two bedroom for 900. But now, good luck. Good luck with that. Like, good freaking luck. I'm gonna wish her the best. She said she goes to stay with her parent for the rest of her life. Yeah, you probably gonna have to because it's not gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. So either you examine this is how the world is right now, and you grind and you try to do something different to beat this, or you could be a victim of it for the rest of your life. I'm just not the person who believes in that. For me, I could be like, her like, dang, everything's expensive. I'm just gonna go move back in and just, when things go down, then I'll change. Like, it's cool and all, especially like maybe like if you're super young, but man, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. We got to do something. Either you're going to be grinding and make something shake for you, or you can start making, maybe start trying to get into like politics and different things of that nature. Maybe for her, maybe similar people like her and, in that area, like where she's living, maybe, they can start getting some type of politics to make some type of change. But if you're not going to make that change and you're not going to like grind or whatever to get through the obstacles, nothing is going to happen. Nothing positive is going to happen. Like you said, you could just be living with her parents. That's it. Like, there's no positiveness to this. Are you going to be saving money up, while you're living with your parents so that you can maneuver to something else? Are you going to be using that money that you're saving by living with your parents to invest in something? Or you could just be living with your parents and not doing anything. And a lot of people, that's what they do. They just like, just waste time. This just waste a whole lot of time. And I'm gonna wish her the best of luck, but I feel like a lot of people, they could just waste their time. They're gonna go back to be sad and not gonna invest, not gonna grow, not gonna be saving up money. You just waste of time, turn up, spend all the money, then complain again. It's like it gets to a point where you just gotta do something. So hopefully, if you're moving back in with your parents, hopefully you're investing, saving, doing something. But you just simply moving back in with your parents and not doing anything, not saving up, not investing, not doing anything. Good luck with the rest of your life because it is not going to improve. It's going to get worse. Like all this inflation stuff is continually going up. It's not going to go back down. You're not going to be getting these $900 apartments for no one bedroom no more. And you're not going to be getting, super cheap groceries anymore. It's just things have just risen up. So either you acknowledge what's going on and try to make a change in yourself, try to make a change in politics, or just go ahead and just let life, beat you down. You decide. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. It's crazy on these rent prices, right? But what are you doing to improve yourself? How do you plan on maneuvering through this? Do you plan on maneuvering through this? Do you have like any type of side hustle, side goals? Are you gonna move back in, with your fam or move in or get roommates and, start saving, start investing, start doing something? Or are you just gonna give up? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments.